Welcome back to Friar Talk, everybody. Today, we are going to be talking about Jake Arrieta starting. No Isaac today, just me and Chase, but we felt like there's not a ton of topics right now, but it's very, very interesting that Jake Arrieta is starting. One, because I think there are many better options within the Padres organization, and there's one main one that we're going to be talking about today. And then also, Chase brought up to me that we just had a rest day. You can put Musgrove into the other spot. So before we get into the other guy we want to talk about that should be, this fifth starter, do you want to talk about how they could arrange the starters in a way that Musgrove could have been pitching today instead of Jake Arrieta?
It's just as simple as don't bring up Arrieta today. Bringing up, you don't even really have to bring him up for this series at all because you need that extra reliever in Taylor Williams. You can keep him there. Send Arrieta down for a rehab start just to see how he does, get his arm loose because we don't know really how much he's done since coming back from the hamstring injury. And with the rest of yesterday, it kind of just slates Musgrove to start today. And most people thought Musgrove were going to start today against the Astros. And you know what? Musgrove has been lights out against the Astros. He hasn't allowed a run yet in any of his starts, even when he was on the Pirates. He came out and threw 5 innings of no-hit relief the last time he pitched against them, and Musgrove has been that guy for us the entire year. He's been the ace. He's no Joe. And you know what? He feasts against his old teams. So he just threw another shutout in his last outing. So I don't know why you don't ride with him as the first guy out in the start of this series.
So I will say, I think there's one part of it that is concerning to me. And that would just be that, like you said, he just threw a shutout last start. So the extra day of rest helps. But we also just heard Joe Musgrove talk about that he wants to be the guy when they really need him. Right now, they really need to win every possible game that's there. And him not having that rest day can be huge. Now, eventually, you might have to start Arrieta, but like I said, there's another guy I think that you could start over him. That guy's Reese Kinnear. And I think that even if you don't do kind of the strategy that you're saying, Chase, because I think part of it is a little bit okay, we've seen how many starters have gone down with injury already. And I know a lot of people just want to say that was all Larry Rothschild. I don't really think that's the case. Could it partially be him? Of course, but I don't think it's just on him or that we should expect that it's just going to suddenly be a drastic change. I hope that's the case. I really hope that's the case, but I don't think that we should expect that. But then you're looking at it and you go, okay, well, let's just say that we want to keep these guys' arms rested, even though now is the time where they need them the most. So I get that part, but I do think that is the one area of concern. And even if that was the case, I still don't think Jake Arrieta was starting. I will say this is baseball. Arrieta could go out there and throw 6 shutout innings. But I still am going to feel, even if he does that there's other guys, either alternative ways that you can align your starters and the rest days and utilize these days off, or you could have Reese Kinnear come in for the start. And I know he hasn't been perfect, but he has been, in his sample size of 18 innings, which isn't massive or anything, but in his 18 inning sample size, he's been way better than Jake Arrieta. Jake Arrieta has been his baseball savant numbers are so bad. And he's got rocked almost every start. Last start he came out, there was, how many hits did he allow? 9? It might have been 8. It was I think 8 plus. It was a lot of hits and not that many innings. And they scored 4 or 5 runs on him. It wasn't crazy, but
it was 5. I remember just because we were doing the live stream and we were asking everybody, how many earned runs is Jake Arrieta going to do? And someone was almost spot on. They said 3 innings, 6 earned runs. They almost had the same amount of hits. They were Clint. Almost on point.
I think it was Clint who
maybe.
That's what
it was
Clint. If it was you,
it was just it was nearly spot on. I was just this man called it.
I remember that now. So yeah, I don't get why you're throwing a guy like this. Every game is a must-win game. We can look at it and go, well, the Padres just need to beat out the Reds, and the Reds have been struggling. The Phillies and the Cardinals are right on the Padres' heels right now, who are also behind the Reds. The Padres have to win a lot of games to make the playoffs. I thought it was 19-12 before last series, so that would make it at 17-11 right now. That's what I think they need to go at for the rest of the time through. I think that gets them to the playoffs. That's pretty tough. So every single time that you go out there and throw Arrieta, it's just putting your backs in a corner. Like they're putting you guys in a corner, and it's making that margin of error so much less, because there's going to be some tough games against Walker Buehler coming up, against Scherzer coming up, maybe against Kershaw. I don't know when he's going to be back, but Urias, I mean, that was the last three that pitched from the Dodgers. They got swept. Now, I mean, they got also in who pitched in the extra inning games? I know it was Snell. Was it Walker? It was Walker, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Walker.
Did you know that there was a 10-inning stint in that game where the Padres were no hit?
Yeah, I saw that, and I was just like, well, thank God that doesn't count.
Yeah, brutal. I mean, so it's just like you can't keep throwing out guys like this. It's not helping the team. I just really don't understand it. But Chase, what do you think about Reese Kinnear? You think that's a good option or a better option?
I think he's a better option. Anytime he goes back down to the minor leagues, except this last outing, he only went 2 innings. But every time they send him back down, he was used as a starter. He would go 7 innings, 6 innings, 7 innings. It was right around there. And then you'd come up here and you're like, oh my God, we definitely need a starter. And then you're like, why is he in the bullpen only throwing 2 innings? Oh, he threw 30 pitches. Oh, 5 days ago in AAA, he threw like a 90 pitches in 7 innings, and you're not going to let him extend himself out. I get that he's been great in the bullpen role, but when you were most desperate for a starting pitcher, you decided just to roll out 3 guys and not really use them to what Reese Kinnear can really do. And with the way Arrieta's pitching, I'm just going to pull up his baseball and savant. He only has one thing in the great category, and that is curveball spin. He is one of the worst in expected ERA, expecting batting average, hard hit percentage, average exit velocity, fastball spin, whiff percentage. Like, he is among the worst pitchers in the league in all of these categories. Pretty sure Reese Kinnear can put way better starts together. His fastball is great. He has a deceiving slider. Sure, you can say his location is probably not the best. His command is not the best. We saw that his last outing, he really struggled. But hey, every pitcher goes through that. You want to give your team the guy with the most upside to win. And for us, that is not Jake Arrieta. That is Reese Kinnear or Adrian Martinez or Ethan Elliott or Mackenzie Gore. Ryan Weathers, not right now. Ryan Weathers does great in the bullpen. He's going to be on the back burner. But these other 3 or 4 guys that are in the minor leagues are all better options than Jake Arrieta.
I will say, I also think there's another guy too that's in the majors right now that you could, and it's Nabil Crismatt. You could pitch Nabil. You could have him start. He could go 4 innings. And I know we're thinking like, oh, we can't go 4 innings, can't have these bullpen days. And I've said that in the past, but I don't think there's much faith in believing that Arrieta is going to get past 4, if we're being honest, or even, I guess, get past 4 and have a chance of victory. Like, it's a lot less. Like, the Padres are going to have to score a lot tonight, or Arrieta is going to have to pull off a miracle. That's the way I feel about it, because he has just got rocked like a lot this year. His ERA is over 7, and he's pitched a lot of games. He's been terrible. Nabil Crismatt, he's at a 3.08. I know that most of the time he's coming out of the pen throwing only like an inning or 2. But if you had him go a lot of innings, okay, then that might deplete your bullpen, right? Well, then call up Kinnear then and have him pitch bullpen game. If you're worried about the location through a start, then you could have Nabil come in and pitch. You could, I don't know. That's what I think is even a better option. Like, there's so many guys that you talk about, and also if you don't want to have Mackenzie Gore come up, like you don't think it's ready, you think it's going to hurt his development, that's okay. There's still 3 other guys, and then there's also Nabil on top of that, and you could have Musgrove pitch today, which I do believe is a good idea. That was the only part that just made me a little bit hesitant, just because of all the pitcher injuries. But I do think Musgrove, I don't know. I would still do that rather than come out here and pitch Jake Arrieta. So, anything else you have though on this?
Yeah, I just want to say this Arrieta has been so bad this year that even Blake Snell, through his worst stretch of probably his career at the beginning of the year, never touched a 6 ERA. I don't think he went over 6. He was really high in the 5s, but he didn't go over 6. That is how bad Jake Arrieta has been this year. And you're going to say that we don't have better options. We have guys in the minor leagues That'd give us a better chance of winning. Today, Musgrove can pitch. It would be every 5 days. He wants the ball every 5 days. Give it to him. That man has been our rock. I don't think he's missed a start. Hell, he's even came in for relief, 5 scoreless innings, 5 hitless innings against the Astros. Give that man the rock to start the series. He wants it. He needs it. We need him to go out there and do his thing. And you decide to give it to Jake Arrieta, who's probably been the worst pitcher in baseball all year. I just don't get it.
No, I'm a little bit confused as well. I do hope that this is the last Jake Arrieta start we see. That's why I said, like, even if he goes in there and pitches a good game, I'm still not going to have confidence in him based on, the sample size we've had all season long. But that's going to do it for us today. If you guys think Arrieta should be starting, let us know. If you agree with us, if you think maybe there's an option we didn't bring up that you think is even better, let us know about that too. But that's going to do it for today's episode, and we'll talk to you guys very soon. Oh, also, we're going to have sorry about that. We're going to have another segment out later because we didn't get one out yesterday. So we're going to have another segment in like 30 minutes. All right. See you guys.